Welcome to the Forensic Financialist, where we simplify business and leadership challenges and choose the road that leads to wisdom and excellence. We discuss tough issues facing business and figure out easy-to-implement solutions. Using the rearview mirror approach, we look in the rear view to move towards a brighter future. Here's your host, Jeff Newkirk.
Welcome to the Forensic Financialist, where we aim to improve your business and build strong leaders by presenting understandable solutions. I'm your host, Jeff Newkirk. Now remember, in each episode, my goal is for you, the listener, to come away with at least one nugget, just one nugget of useful information, and hopefully get a little inspired along the way. Well, today is another great episode planned. We have a special guest, Dawn Candy. Now, I'm going to read most of the bio, but Dawn's bio is quite extensive and extremely impressive. So first of all, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So Dawn Candy is the founder and owner of I Promote You. It's a strategic marketing and promotional products company operating since 2008. So 12 years. That's
12
good.
years, yeah.
I Promote You offers a wide range of products and services, including promotional items, corporate apparel and gifts, printing, awards and incentive programs, event giveaways, marketing consulting, event logistics, and more. Wow.
There is more.
Well, and I'm wearing an embroidered shirt.
Yes.
I know our listeners can't see, but it's awesome, so thank you.
And he looks amazing in it, I'll just say.
Wow. You can be on as a guest next time, too.
Awesome.
So Dawn's passion for helping people has really been the driving force and the primary focus for everything that she's done and with her customers that I Promote You. Creative and outside-the-box thinking has established I Promote You as a true partner rather than just a service provider. I would totally agree with that.
Thank you.
Dawn is a long-standing member of the Advertising Specialty Institute, Promotional Products Association International, the Woodlands Area Chamber of Commerce, and Leadership Montgomery County alumni. Wow. Is there anything out of that that is the most satisfying or that you're the most proud of?
Well, I would say the Woodlands Area Chamber of Commerce, I have been active with the chamber for over 25 years. I have enjoyed understanding how the chamber works from an employee standpoint. I actually worked on staff for a short while, and now I'm a business owner. So I have a very unique perspective when it comes to the chamber and the services and involvement. So I really have enjoyed that. And Leadership Montgomery County, I'm very proud of. I graduated in 2004. I've been an active member of the alumni since I graduated, and I love learning about the county through Leadership Montgomery County.
So describe a little bit about what that program is, because not everybody knows what that leadership program is in Montgomery County, which is located just north of Houston.
Yes. So Leadership Montgomery County is a program that a business leader would make application for. They typically select 45 classmates per year to go through the program. It is a 9-month course.
Not everybody gets in, right?
Correct. Not everyone gets in. They do exceed probably 80 to 100 applications each year. And so they've got
less than half.
Yes, they have to narrow that down.
Okay.
Correct. And so once you're accepted into the class, they start the class with a retreat, and they meet for 9 months, one day out of each month. And they basically learn about the county. It's education, healthcare, government, infrastructure. There's all sorts of topics that they cover in that class each month. And in addition to that, they select a class project to work on that is sustainable after the class graduates. So
it's very practical.
It is very practical. It's very, I would say, philanthropic and also just very community centric as well. And, you have to remember that's part of the class is actually doing the class project, because you have to remember you are in a class with business leaders, community leaders.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of chiefs in that area, and so you learn how to become a better leader, and you learn when to step up and lead and when to kind of sit back and let someone else take the lead. So it's a great program to go through. They typically graduate in May, and the new class applications are out at that time, so you can apply, and they announce the new class in July, I believe, each year. So it's really a great program, and it's evolved so much since I graduated. My husband has also graduated from the program after a lot of encouragement from me. And so
encouragement to graduate, or encouragement to go
apply, yes, because I told him it's a great opportunity to get to know other business leaders in the community from all over the county. That's the great part, is it's not just South Montgomery County, but they include north, south, east, and west, and so you get to,
which is a big county.
It is a very large county.
Not
and
everybody realizes how big Montgomery County is in the population, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but about 600,000 people now?
I think we're getting close to that if we're not there already, because it is one of the fastest growing communities in the nation. Conroe is, which is in the heart, basically. So, yes.
Yeah. Just north of Houston, which is Harris County, and so many people are moving up to this area.
Yes.
And I think, as you said, a lot of chiefs, but a lot of folks that are very knowledgeable, and they know what they're doing, and they can provide the education and the leadership that all the students need.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so going on with some more of your bio, which again is very impressive. You have a lot to be proud of here, Dawn.
Thank you.
So establishing a career in marketing and owning her own business has been a dream come true. And it enabled Dawn to pursue her passion for the community by giving back to nonprofit organizations close to her heart. So let me read off some of these nonprofit organizations. Let's see, Montgomery County Food Bank, which you helped expand into a 72,000 square foot building. And then you founded the Greater Montgomery County Restaurant Association, which also is we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive. Let's see. Also, the Economic Development Corporation, you were on the board as a VP, and you were recently appointed to the City Council, place for and serves the city as Mayor Pro Tem. So, a lot there. Let's go back to the Montgomery County Restaurant Association, because there's a little story behind that. How did that happen?
So I was, in 2007, I believe it was, I was team leader for the Woodlands Area Chamber's Taste of the Town. And I was doing some research. I went to Galveston because they have what they call an Epicurean evening. And that event actually was benefiting the Galveston Restaurant Association. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. And wow, they had a huge convention center full of restaurants and businesses, just like our Taste of the Town was previously. And so I was impressed.
The Taste of the Town, just really quickly, a lot of restaurants in the area participated, something that the chamber puts on.
Correct.
And people from the community, or whoever, from the area, want to participate. They buy a ticket and they can go to a number of different restaurants just to check them out. Well,
that's the way we're doing it this year. But when I was the team leader, that's not how we did it. We were in the Woodlands Waterway Marriott. We had the whole convention center, and outside in the foyer as well, with restaurant booths, with businesses who sponsored, and the community got involved by purchasing the ticket, as you said, but they came to the convention center and walked through that area. So it was really a lot of networking going on. There was great opportunities to taste the food from area restaurants. And, we had probably close to 4,000 attendees in that one night. And so as team leader, I really wanted to see, are there things that we could improve upon? Could I borrow some ideas from that Epicurean evening in Galveston? And that's why I was out there just attending their event to see what it was like. And yes, you're right. Our Taste of the Town has evolved this year in 2021. We are getting to tour basically our community and the restaurants that are participating with that one ticket price, you can go in and you can taste the tasting menu from that particular restaurant. I believe there are 37 restaurants that are involved this year.
I was going to say over
so
30.
Fun.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is amazing.
It's been a blast so far, and yeah, we've really enjoyed this new format due to COVID and restrictions and things. So that team did an amazing thing to be able to reposition that event for the chamber. So very excited about that. But it also answered one of the things that I was hearing as team leader back then from our restaurants who were talking about how difficult it was for them to come to that one night event because they basically were having to cater the food to the Marriott. So staff, they had to have samplings for 5,000 tastings. They, just the cost involved, they did pay an entry fee as well. And so they were never sure how the Taste of the Town benefited them if it actually brought some patrons back to their restaurants. That was one of the issues. And so just by hearing some of the, I guess, aches and pains from the restaurants during my time as serving on that team, and going to Galveston and hearing there's a Galveston Restaurant Association, I thought, we've got so many amazing restaurants here. Do we have an association like Galveston does? Mm-hmm. And I found out we did not. And I started asking why. And I talked to a few community members, and they said, oh, we tried it. It didn't work. And, no one would come, and there was no interest. And I thought, okay, that was a few years ago.
There was no interest because nobody continued to ask the question.
I think so. And so I just decided as team leader, I'm going to see if I can gather a focus group of some of these restaurants participating in Taste of the Town to see if I can get them together to talk about if we had a chapter here in Montgomery County, would you participate? Would you attend the meetings? What value could it bring to you and your restaurant, your staff, and that sort of thing? We got 62 people, restaurants and vendors attending our focus group, and the Texas Restaurant Association.
I guess they were interested.
They were interested. And the Texas Restaurant Association came in and did this wonderful presentation for us about the benefits of participating with them and what they do for the restaurants. And they said, we have never seen this kind of turnout. This is amazing. Yes, let's move forward with this. Now, the interesting part about that, Jeff, is when I was making my inquiries, I did call the Texas Restaurant Association and I said, if I wanted to start a chapter in my community, how would I do that? And they said,
you can't do that.
They said, what restaurant do you own or do you run? And I said, I do not. I don't own a restaurant. And they said, oh, I'm sorry. You can't do that. And they hung up. They literally hung up right after that statement. And I said, oh, no, you didn't.
Don't tell Dawn Candy no. Those are fighting words.
It was. I was just like, no, that can't be right. So I called right back immediately. And I said, if I were a restaurateur, how would I start a chapter? Oh, we'll email you this 2-page document. And it was a Word document basically giving you every step you needed to take. And the timeline was 2 years. Well, I can tell you that when we got that and we had the focus group, it officially was recognized by the Texas Restaurant Association in 2 years on the nose. But we had operated for a year before that, before they ever really acknowledged us as a chapter. We were already functioning. And so
it took forever to make that happen.
Yeah.
That's perseverance.
It was. I recruited some of my restaurateur friends and said, I need for you to be on our board. I need a president. They won't let me do this by myself. Can you help? And there was a need. There was a desire. And the Restaurant Association chapter is still here. So I'm very proud of that.
That is wonderful. And hopefully you eat free in Montgomery County.
No.
No. Wow. Well, that's quite an accomplishment.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And in addition, you are Mayor Pro Tem. Now, tell us, what does that mean?
So basically it means should the mayor be unavailable to perform their duties or attend a meeting, any sort of duties, it could be the day-to-day of Oak Ridge North, yes. Then I would be the person to step in. I've run council meetings. I've run executive sessions and workshops. We've attended ribbon cuttings and things like that. So anything that the mayor would do and is unable to for whatever reason, then I step in and take care of that for him.
So do you see this Mayor Pro Tem as just a starting point for your political career?
I really don't know. I know that I am enjoying my time with the city. I love being on city council. I love serving with the mayor, and it has been a great education. And so I don't know where that's going to take me. I just know that I'm open to the possibilities. We'll
There you go.
Yeah.
I believe there's much more in your future.
Thank you.
So more associations that you've been a participant with, including, let's see, you were recognized by the Association of Fundraising Professionals, receiving an award for Outstanding Community Volunteer in 2013, the Woodlands Area Chamber of Commerce Volunteer of the Year in 2014, and recognized as a Woman of Distinction by the MCABW. What is that?
Montgomery County Association of Businesswomen.
Okay. In 2019, and by the Business Women's Forum in 2012 and 2013. Wow. Again, very, very impressive. So what is it out of those awards and recognitions that you are most proud of?
Well, so actually all of them, because the Outstanding Community Volunteer by the Association of Fundraising Professionals was something I received because of my involvement in running the capital campaign for the food bank. And, you know, when you do those things, when you serve as a volunteer, you're not looking for that type of recognition. And it was a beautiful luncheon where they honored us, and it was quite an honor to receive that. But you know, the Women of Distinction Award is something that organization's been going on now for 31 years. And for me to be recognized by two of the organizations that I feel like I pour my heart and soul into, because I support women. I love to mentor. I, love both of those organizations very much. And so to be recognized by those organizations for the service that I do it's really just an honor, and I was very humbled by it.
What a huge compliment to you.
It really is, and it makes me feel very, very good.
Yeah, you've influenced a lot of people.
Yeah, so
wonderful.
Thank you.
One more on here that I have to ask about, and that I Promote You was awarded the Hub certification by the state of Texas.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
So the Hub certification is actually just a state certification. They basically vet you as a business to make sure that you are solid, stable, that you've got a great company, you can supply whatever the needs happen to be. The paperwork is about 3 inches thick, and I was able to accomplish that last year during COVID, when I actually found myself with some time to be able to put all of those documents together. And
so is there some bureaucracy associated with that?
There's a lot of paperwork. Let me just say that. And but it was amazing, because once I sent that off to Austin and they received it, within about 30 days, I got an email saying I need a couple of more documents. And when I supplied those, the next day I was certified. So they put you on their database list for any state institution, universities, municipalities, that kind of thing, who are looking for vendors to supply whatever products that you let them know are in your category. Mm-hmm. So printing, promotional products are my categories. And so I receive some bid proposals. Usually once a week, I'm getting something through that Hub certification.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
So it's been great for business.
It's been great for business. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
But when you received the paperwork,
mm-hmm.
did you think, oh my gosh, is this really worth it?
I did. And I actually had a friend who's a woman-owned business who she applied for it as well and said, it is a lot of work, but it is definitely worth it. And so I had a mentor as well, talking me through the process as well. So yes, I did wonder, oh my goodness, I don't know. This is a lot.
You're kidding me with all this paperwork, right?
Yes. Yes. And then to actually have to have hard copies and mail them off somewhere. That was a little bit, strange for me.
So through the U.S. Postal
correct.
Service.
Yes.
Not just, scan and send it via email.
Yeah, that is correct.
So
I know, a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
But it worked out well, and it's been good for your business.
Yes, it
Wonderful.
sure has. Mm-hmm.
So all of these accomplishments, and you're always on the move, how do you find the energy? Where do you get that go-to spirit every day?
So I believe it has to do with my faith, actually, being able to stay grounded, knowing that, I've shared with you before, when I started my business, I was very prayerful about it. I wanted to make sure I was hearing clearly, that I knew it was from God, this message to start my own business. And, then just having the faith and knowing that He brought this business to me, He's not going to let me fail in this business. If I continue to be obedient and listen and, with my heart to serve other people and just help other people. I do a lot of consulting, and I don't get paid for the consulting. I get paid if you buy a product. And so for me, if I can help you in your business to grow your business, whether you buy from me or not, that's not the point, because I believe that's going to come back to me eventually at some point, sometime. But I feel good. It feeds my soul to be able to help other people. And so
doing the right thing.
Yes.
Adding value to others.
Yes. Always trying to add value and encourage other people,
Mm-hmm.
So
that's an inspiration.
Being a business owner is hard. If no one told you, it's hard.
Especially during a pandemic.
Yes, it is. And that was the other thing, last year, just with these organizations I'm a part of, just being able to encourage women to continue to connect. Other business owners continue to connect. I know we all felt somewhat paralyzed for a point, but oh my goodness, once we figured out how to do Zoom and, other ways to connect with people, I was on so many different calls that people were talking about emailing, they were talking about Zooming, all of these things. And I told them, I said, my biggest tip for you, pick up the phone, call someone. Parents that are home who are trying to run their business and have their kids at home because they've got to homeschool them would love to hear from an adult. They would love to have that adult conversation. And it doesn't have to be about business. Just check on people. I felt like that was a little bit lost for a short amount of time, but, it was almost like it was a new idea to pick up the phone and call. And so that was one of the things that we did. And I promote you is calling people and just checking. How are you? How's your family? Is there anything I can do for you? Even if I had to go run an errand for somebody, I wanted to be able to make that connection.
That's wonderful.
So, yeah.
And you started off by saying it's your faith.
Yes.
And there are a lot of folks that sort of question their own faith. And, I run across this often, and I'm a person of faith, and I fall short every day, but I try. What is it? How do you keep that faith strong? And when you come across somebody who doesn't have a strong faith, how do you approach them? How do you have that conversation?
Well, I think I'm very positive with people, regardless if they don't have it. But I do share testimony with them and telling them how, for me, that it gives me peace and comfort in knowing. And I do talk to people a lot. It's like I keep running against these challenges. I'm every time I turn around, something else seems to be going wrong. And I tell them, if that's the case, you might be on the wrong path, because truly, when God creates that path for you and you are on the road that He wants you to be on, you've got smooth sailing. People come into your life that can help you along the way. You start seeing doors open, connections being made.
Yeah, but Dawn, that's not God. I mean, come on, right? I mean, you hear that.
I do hear that.
People always push back.
I do hear that. And, I just tell them, my testimony is, it is, because I've been in those situations where things kept going wrong and things kept going wrong, and I mean, God can't give you anything if your fists are clenched.
You got to be receptive.
You have to be open. So what are you holding on to that is enabling Him to not give it to you? What is it that you are focused on? Shift your mindset just a little bit. Start looking at the positive things, and even a great analogy. When I was pregnant, every time I looked around, I saw a pregnant woman. If you're looking to buy a new car and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get this Lexus SUV over here, everywhere you look, you start seeing that Lexus SUV, right? So it's the same thing for negativity. If you're looking at negative things and you're feeling negative all the time, that's
contagious.
That's what you're going to find. Right. So why not focus on the positive?
Because that's contagious too.
It is. It is.
And we have a choice.
You will feel better. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
We do have a choice.
So much better.
Yes.
So to remain positive every day, are there certain things that you do to keep that positive energy going? Obviously faith, but for example, I've suggested, and I do this myself, every morning I think of 3 things that I'm grateful for, at least 3. And some days it's the exact same thing. That's okay. But if I get into a habit of saying, I am thankful for this, I'm thankful for that, it becomes more of a, positive thing that I'm actually looking forward to every morning to get me going.
Yeah.
And then I set reminders during the day. I have a reminder that says, Jeff, time to say a prayer for whatever, So I have those reminders going off during the day to keep me going. Do you do similar things or? So
I meditate. I listen to motivational presentations on YouTube. Do
you have a favorite one?
I really don't. I mean,
so many good ones out there.
There are a lot of good ones out there, actually. But I guess I really focus on the ones that are sort of self-improvement, personal development, the things that remind me constantly. But if I'm having one of those days where maybe I can't come up with those 3 things, like you're mentioning, just to stay in gratitude, hey, I'm grateful for the roof over my head, the food in my belly, and the clothes on my back. That is as basic as we get. And, but I don't take any of that for granted.
Absolutely not.
And, there's always someone out there that has something harder that they're dealing with. And so I remember that as well. I am grateful for what I've got right now and what my life is about right now.
Sometimes when I wake up, I think, I'm thankful for waking up.
Yeah, that's true. The older we get, we do think that. I never dreamed I would be this age.
Well, some days it's just, when it's cold and rainy and you think, what challenges are ahead of me today? Well, I'm just thankful that I'm getting up to face those challenges.
Yeah.
And I can do it.
Yeah. And I think about all the things I get to do, not the things I have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about how I Promote You reacted during the COVID pandemic. We're still coming out of it. And I think in Texas, we are fortunate that we have more opportunities to do business than in some other states. But
agreed.
How are you changing your plans for 2021? Because there's still so much uncertainty.
Yeah, there is. So it's interesting. 2021, I've set myself a goal to visit some new networking groups that I don't typically go to. Many of them are still on Zoom, and it's not anything that I'm going to do on a regular basis necessarily, but just kind of putting myself out there into a new sphere and, having the opportunities to do podcast, to do public speaking, I've created a seminar for the Woodlands Chamber and hopefully I'll get to present that. But it's a way to stay in front of people.
It's going to be a great seminar.
I am looking forward to it. And so I just feel like, my word for this year is fearless. And it's fearless because I want to do things that I had been afraid to do before, take a little bit of a risk, right? But I also kind of dissected that word. If you think about it, fearless, that speaks to my faith. Fearless. But when I say it in my head, I'm fearless. It's tough. We're going to do this. We're going to get it done. So I think about the energy.
For those of you who are listening, you can't see, Dawn is clenching her fist and is ready to punch the wall.
I'm ready to attack whatever it is. And so, and that's really the thought that's been going through my head with that word. And so I hope that other people listening to this can select a word for this year that they can get behind, that they feel passionate about, that will drive them, that will help them to move to that next level that they want to go to.
So there are two things that you said that I really just hit home with me. The first one is, of course, being fearless and having a faith. I didn't realize this until recently, but in the Bible, it says 365 times, do not be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that if it says that 365 times, one for every day, each day of the year,
Yes.
God probably really means it.
That's true.
So we probably should put our fears aside and have courage.
Yeah.
Because that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that you said is, well, beyond the fear, but attacking what's coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it's time to embrace the day, embrace the day and enjoy what we have and be thankful. But I'm going beyond that. We have to attack the day. And I don't mean that in a negative way where we're going to go out and start fights or anything. Not at all.
Right.
That's not what I mean at all. But we have to be ready to attack whatever is going to come our way so we can stay positive, stay focused, and accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
So be fearless and attack it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So good. So what's next? I can't believe we've already been talking for 30 minutes. It's flown by.
It has flown by.
What's next for Dawn Candy? What do you see in the next couple years, the next 5-10 years? I mean, I can guess.
Yeah.
But let's hear it.
You have great aspirations for me, Jeff. I'm going to hang with you more
Look
often.
what you've accomplished.
I am not sure as far as what the future holds with, my desire to speak more, do some public speaking, that kind of thing. But I can tell you that I am working on, I promote you, really with my why in mind of the fact that I want to be able to give back to my community. So that means that my company is going to run without me, and I will be able to participate more in those philanthropic things and those nonprofits that I have such a heart for. I'm going to make a difference in my community, and I really am focused on building my business to that point so that I can step away from the business. It can continue to run and serve my customers, and I am able to make a bigger difference on a bigger stage. That's what I'm looking for.
You will.
Yeah. You
will make a big difference. Can you give us some insight to the seminar that you're putting together?
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about networking in 2021. We're going to talk about your elevator speech or your 60-second, how to craft that, how to be interesting when you are crafting it, but still getting your point across and reaching your target for that. And so there's just so many things that have changed in 2020 and going into 2021 that I want to encourage people on, don't step back from the networking side of things and how you can be strategic and effective when you're networking and really set some goals for that. So I'm looking forward to sharing some tips on those.
So you mentioned that you can still have, good productive networking virtually.
Correct.
So what would be like one or two things that you would suggest our listeners take on when it comes to networking in a virtual world?
When you are on a Zoom call, I know that it's difficult because I've been on them myself where you've got...
We're zoomed out, Don.
The Brady Bunch boxes, right? And you've got all these people and you see somebody there that you want to connect with. I'm going to encourage you to watch the chat box because I have been in a meeting where I've direct messaged someone and they've never responded to me. They're not watching that chat. But that is a tip for you on both sides of it. You watch it for other people reaching out to you, but you also feel free to reach out to them, direct message them through that chat if you want to connect on a deeper level.
And not everybody realizes that there's an option in Zoom, and it's a drop down.
Yes.
So you click on, I think it says message everyone or everybody.
Right. And then it lists the participants.
Yes. And you can just click on the name, and then that gives you the chance to direct message somebody in the meeting.
That is correct. Yeah. So not everyone will see that message. Now, if you're...
We have to be Zoom savvy.
You do need to be Zoom savvy. But now if you're in a meeting and there is not that option, then I'd encourage you to do the @ sign and put that person's name and, put your message in there. So still everyone will be able to see it, but they'll know it's directed at them. so you can put their name in. So that is just one of the tips in helping you to try to navigate Zoom and connecting, being strategic, making sure you're making an effective use of your time, because it doesn't matter how many Zooms you sit on each day. If you're not benefiting from the connection and they're not benefiting from connecting with you, it just doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing it then?
Right.
Don't waste your time.
And you've always got to be thinking, how can I add value to the other person or the situation that I'm in? If you're always waiting, it's not going to happen.
Right.
You've got to be proactive, and you've got to have that mindset of, I'm going to add value. I'm going to help somebody. I'm going to improve the situation.
Yes.
It becomes more natural.
Right. That's true. And helping them could be that you've heard their commercial and you know someone that would be a great introduction for them. And so there you are, that you want to make that connection. They're going to appreciate it. So is the person you're going to introduce them to, because you've just expanded their sphere. And so any nugget that you can do to add value to someone when you're on a call, I mean, hopefully that's what we all want to do.
Well, and it's got to be genuine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If it's not genuine, just stop.
Yeah.
Right. Don't even.
Because people can see through that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Serves no purpose.
Yeah.
Dawn, how can people learn more about you and I Promote You?
So you can visit our website at www.ipromoteyou.biz, B-I-Z. Feel free to give me a call directly at 713-992-1995, or shoot me an email, dawn@ipromoteyou.biz.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Lots of great information, and I know the best is yet to come. You've only started.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So another great episode. Again, such important and valuable information. I hope you, the listener, got at least one nugget out of today's podcast. I would be surprised if it weren't several nuggets of useful information. But I want to know what it is. What was it in today's podcast that resonated most with you? Let me know. You can email me at jeff@understandablesolutions.com, or just go to my website, understandablesolutions.com, and add it to my blog. I'd love to hear from you. So before we close today, I'm going to ask you to do three things that I think in today's world we need more than ever. Number one, be thankful. Be thankful for your friends, your family, acquaintances, your job, your home. There's always something to be thankful for, and we talked about that earlier. Number two, reach out to an old friend or someone you want to connect with, someone that maybe you haven't had a chance to talk to yet. Well, now's the time. You'd be surprised how much it's going to mean to them. And number three, you've got to prepare and plan for an incredibly awesome year. 2021 can be an awesome year, but it's going to take some planning, and you have to be intentional about it. Okay, great episode. Dawn, thank you again so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'm grateful for all of you that listened. If you enjoyed it, review it and subscribe. That would be great. I hope you had a great day, and I hope tomorrow is even better. Peace, everyone.
You've been listening to the Forensic Financialist, where we simplify business and leadership challenges and choose the road that leads to wisdom and excellence. To learn more about Jeff, visit his website at understandablesolutions.com or email Jeff at jeff@understandablesolutions.com. Mentioning this podcast will get you a complimentary discovery session with Jeff. Until next time.